Everybody, Crystal here. Welcome back to the Build a Brand series. I'm growing a brand from scratch, you guys. The business is called Crismo Jerk. It's a Jamaican jerk sauce company that is owned by my family. If you're on a similar journey, if you're trying to grow your brand, if you want to know how to take your brand from step A to all the way to step Z, then you definitely want to continue to watch this series. It's going to be a really quick video to outline all of the steps that we're going to take to execute this process. Action plans are a really great way to get very clear and focus on what you're doing. So when you're actually executing, it'll really just be a matter of knocking things out one by one, not spending too much time like over analyzing and overthinking, that you're really just in execution mode because you've already established a plan. So the great thing about entrepreneurship in today's day is that a process has really been carved out for most of our types of businesses. If you have an e-commerce business, if you have a service-based business, no matter what kind of business you have, it's likely that there is someone that have already done what you want to do. So there is an action plan out there for you to adopt. There's already a plan of action that has been tested and executed, so you don't have to go out there and like test things yourself. Just do what other people have done and apply that to your business. Action plan that we're going to establish for Crismo is one that is perfect for e-commerce businesses. It's perfect for businesses with products that are less than $100. And also, if you don't have any sort of startup budget, then this is the perfect plan for you. So the first step in that plan is to really create a brand strategy. Your brand strategy is really just all about understanding what is your value to your target audience. You need to understand who that audience is, what do they really care about, what do they desire, what are they running away from, where do they hang out, and like how can you craft a message in a way that resonates with them. If you are going into business without a brand strategy, you run the risk of just looking like everyone else in the market. If you don't really understand what your unique value is and what people are truly seeking that they're not already getting, then how can you ensure that you're any different? How can you really be competitive if you're not taking the time to understand what people truly want, what is already out there, and where the gap is? So your brand strategy is really just about getting really clear, getting really focused and strategic about how are you going to be competitive in the market that you're seeking to go into. Then after you've established your brand strategy, you're going to have to define an identity. So your brand identity is all about just like your messaging and appearing different to the world. So whenever you put yourself out there, you're going to want to use certain colors, you're going to want to say certain things, have maybe like a catchphrase, things like that that really defines your personality, your identity, so people can actually identify you as someone that is unique within the market. So the brand strategy goes into the colors that you'll use, the logo, your website design, the overall style and visual identity of your brand. And then once that is defined, then we can go ahead and build out some other assets for your business, which would include the website, but also business cards, t-shirts, whatever type of brand assets you need. And then after that, that is when we get into the marketing. Marketing is really about just conveying a message to your audience. So you want to make sure that you have a very strong like message and campaign. Like, what is it that you want to share with the world? What is it that you believe in that you also want people to opt into? We're going to start by crafting our campaign message so that people can really resonate with what we're offering. But then we also have to figure out what are the strategies that we'll use. Like, we can of course use social media, but do we want to use influencers? Do we want to focus on growing our page? Do we want to use ads? There's so many different types of marketing strategies out there, but of course we're going to start with one and focus on one. Within the marketing strategy, we're also going to create a content plan so that we have a very creative and unique way of getting our message out there. So it could be either through videos or through posts or through stories, maybe like a clubhouse or a meetup type of event. It can be, depending on the platform that we use, our content style would be different. But the key thing is that we really want to make it creative. We're going to build on things that have already been done, but still do it in a unique enough way that is custom to our brand. And then we have our follow-up plan. So the follow-up plan is really just an extension of the marketing strategy. It's really just a way to continue to reach out to people that are not complete strangers to your business, but they have yet to become a customer. But of course, you can have follow-up plans for your customers as well, especially if you want to like bump them up or offer like a higher ticket type of product. We won't go into that too much, but what we're really going to focus on is just people who have already opted in to maybe our email list or text message list, and then just figure out ways that we can follow up with them. The main ways to do this is through email, through messaging, or even through phone calls if that's necessary and relevant to your business. There's also a lot of other creative things that you can do within a follow-up plan because it really is marketing. So a lot of the marketing strategies that you use can also be used in your follow-up plan. So you want to think about creative ways that you can nurture your audience and give them a reason to stay opted into your program until they eventually become a customer. You can do this through newsletters, thank you gifts, a Facebook group. There's so many different ways that you can continue to build your community after people have opted in the first time to whatever you offered them. And then lastly, we have our fulfillment plan. Now, this is not something that I'm going to go into too deep because it's really going to vary based on your business. But your fulfillment is really about how you're getting your product from your warehouse or from your house, or even if it's a digital thing, if it's on your computer or on your website, how you're going to get it to your customer. There's different ways to approach this, and branding is still very important in the fulfillment process. So we're going to touch a little bit on the fulfillment in terms of the packaging and the design and the overall experience of delivering the product to your customer. If you want a copy of this action plan to download for your personal use, then definitely you can download it in the link below as always. This video wraps up segment 1, where we clarified our vision, we defined our goals and our objectives, and now we have defined our action plan. So in segment 2, we are talking about our brand strategy. We're going to go through ways of really crafting our message and our offer in a way that resonates to an audience. Of course, once again, feel free to like, comment, share, email if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.